Sometimes when you're travelling around Australia, whether you're doing a lap or you're just driving from point A to B to get somewhere, you go through some little towns that you don't bother stopping at, or you see signposts, little towns off to the side that you don't bother turning off because you're on your way somewhere else. What I found though, sometimes these little towns are worth a stop. Little places that you may not have stopped at, you may not even have heard of, and maybe just give you a bit of a background history, so next time you're travelling around, if you see these little places, you may decide it's worth having a look. First town in this episode is Edithburgh. Situated on the heel of the Yorke Peninsula, it has a population of 500 people, but that grows significantly over holiday periods. Edithburgh was founded in 1869 as a major port for the local produce of grains, wool and salt. The town is proud of its heritage and its famous jetty, which is now over 150 years old. I will include a link in the description to another YouTube video that I have done, and it takes you for a scuba dive under the jetty. Near the jetty is the last remaining tidal swimming pool in South Australia. This is a great place for families. It is safe, has great amenities and plenty of room. In the centre of town is a nature reserve. The 17.5 hectare park has 2.5 kilometres of walking tracks and features some of the local flora of the area. And if you're really lucky, you might even see an Edithburgh hare. Next up is Tewantin, on the Noosa River on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Tewantin is the original town in the Noosa region. The name is thought to be derived from an anglicised version of a local indigenous word for dead trees. This is thought to refer to the timber logging industry, where logs were floated down to the town from the adjacent forests. With a population of over 11,000, it is surrounded by national parks and state forests and is bordered by the Noosa River. It is the most relaxed part of the Sunshine Coast, and in my opinion, and along with neighbouring Noosaville, the hustle and bustle of the towns further down the coast seems a long, long way away. So why would I go there? A lot of the activities are water-based, and it is a pleasant place to stop for a few days. There seems to be a strong sense of humour here. We came across several signs around town that gave us both a big smile. The last town in this episode is Terowie. It is 230 kilometres from Adelaide on the Barrier Highway, which is about halfway to Broken Hill. Okay, so why would I come here? This place is a time capsule of life in the late 1800s. At that time, there were 3 different railway gauges that all met at Terowie. In 1970, these were replaced with a single gauge line, and the town's population declined from a peak of 2,000 to about 200 people who call it home today. Luckily, the town was heritage listed and many buildings remain. And it has one international claim to fame. On the 20th of March in 1942, one of the most famous speeches of World War II was made here by General MacArthur, Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces in the Southwest Pacific. His famous quote, "I shall return," was in reference to the US returning in force to relieve the Philippines.